Oh, hello.
Hello.
A little late. Better late than never, Things
Oh,
happen.
we're here.
Thanks for
We're here.
joining. It's 11:35 Eastern Time. We're not tired. That's Logan. I'm Craig. Another post-game show from No One Asked Us. This one's likely going to be very quick. We did a post-game after Alabama, so 2 games since then have been multiple 40-point wins. So not too much to talk about, but Illini do win 92-34 tonight over Little Rock. How's it going, Logan? Are you good to go for the next 25 minutes? You good?
I mean, yes. You
Okay.
you have me for 25, but
Okay.
after that, I'm out
Once it strikes midnight, Logan turns back into the
to a
what's
pumpkin.
Cinderella pumpkin. Yeah, turns back into a pumpkin. Uh, yeah, not a whole lot to talk about. So we'll just jump right in. 92-34, completely out of hand from the start. Kasparas Jakucionis, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, all around good game from him. And then you got Tre White and Tomislav Ivisic with 16, Will Riley with 13 more. Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn had 9 tonight. I think all in the second half. Yeah, all in the second half for him. Morez Johnson, another good game. He got 21 minutes tonight. He only played like 16 last game, and he had a double-double. 8 and 11 for Morez tonight. I like what I'm seeing from him. And then a couple other guys threw in some threes. Hummercast had a 3, and I guess Kylan hit 3 free throws. So Kylan back on his not much offense, but still controlling this team, even when he's not scoring. And Kerry Booth with 3. So that's the scoring. Illinois out-rebounded Little Rock, the Trojans, 56-26. Illinois had just as many offensive boards as Little Rock had defensive boards, so that was good. I'm not going to go too much more into it because it was just utter domination. What stuck out the most to you tonight?
Oh goodness. I had a few thoughts throughout the game, but I think for the most part, I mean, I know the 3 points is discouraging, but Kylan Boswell does a lot on the court. Um, More so than, I mean, obviously you didn't need him to score more than 3 points tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I like having him out there, and I know that there's been some frustrations with him. You know, not producing maybe early on, not getting what you want out of him, what you thought you were going to get out of him, especially from the offensive standpoint. Yes, he had 3 points, but 7 assists, 3 rebounds, a steal. He just plays terrific defense. Like, I just
Mm-hmm.
love having him out there on the court. And you don't need him to be a double-digit scorer every night when you have the freshmen that are capable. I mean, this is what you're looking at. I mean, you have 3 freshmen who are double-digit every night scorers.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see Kylan kind of like become the fourth guy, because I just don't know if you're going to see consistency out of Tre White, Ben Hummerkaus. Like, I would rather Kylan be that guy, but he just does so much out there on the court that like you don't need him to score all the points. And tonight was an excellent example of that.
Yeah, I think I said it after Alabama. The thing that's going to lead this team for the first 2 months of the season is Kylan Boswell and his I don't want to say ownership of the team. What's the word I'm looking for? I mean, it starts with his defense. His defense sets the tone, and we saw it against Alabama. Mark Sears scored 0 points, and Boswell was guarding him. So yeah, I love having him on this team. He was going to have nights like tonight where he scores single digits, 3 to 7 points, but he has 7 rebounds, 3 assists, plays 23 minutes. He only had 1 turnover, and he plays great defense. That's what we're going to get from Kylan Boswell some nights, and some nights that's all you're going to need. So yeah, I thought that was good. I know the turnovers are up, but I love what Kasparas Jakucionis can bring. He legitimately, and we've seen it every game, he legitimately can do it all. and he's a talent, and Will Riley. They're talents that Illinois has not had in, I'm going to say, years.
Ever?
I mean, Illinois had Io the last 5 years. Kofi is a talent that Illinois doesn't have, but these guys coming in as freshmen just seem like they're on a different level. And I know we touched on it after Alabama, how the 3 biggest contributors so far are all true freshmen. One of them being someone who should be a senior in high school. It's unheard of. And I'm honestly, this was I'm trying to pull up the schedule. This was a 58-point win and then a 47-point win on Saturday. I did not expect that. I expected like 30, maybe, just because this is still a young team. And
Yeah.
they only beat Oakland by 12 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And like, for them to do this, I know these are, Ken Palm, Maryland Eastern Shore is 360 or 350. Little Rock was half that. They're like 175. And you beat Little Rock worse than you beat Eastern Shore. So I'm just impressed with the way things are coming together right now. I know they've given up 74 points the last 2 games. The stat at the end of the game, the first time they've allowed 40 or less in back-to-back games since 1947. Take that with a grain of salt. I don't know how much that was the Illinois defense as it was these teams just aren't very good. What do you think? And at full transparency, I was not fully locked into this game tonight. I had forgot there was a game tonight until I got home from work at 6:00. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I was the same way on Saturday. I was watching the whole football game and then realized that, oh wait, there's a basketball game after this too. So a couple things to answer what you're going with. This same Little Rock team put up 67 points against Arkansas a couple days ago, and only lost by like 12. Now, granted, Arkansas turned around and absolutely thumped Eastern Shore. We're playing this little MTE of our own type thing. The same 4 teams are all playing each other. So you have that to go off of. But as far as like, again, this is a Little Rock team that put up 67 points against Arkansas. So I think it's a little bit of both, but I do think that the defense has been a lot better than what we saw, especially in that exhibition game. Yes, you gave up 100 points to Alabama, who is a Final Four team, but like Kylan also shut down their best player, like completely. Mark Sears scored 0 points, so like I think the defense is making drastic improvements. And I do think a lot of it is the defensive effort, but also these teams aren't very good that they're putting up these points against.
Yeah. Kai, I think. No. Brandon in the chat. Wasn't this Little Rock team in a rock fight with Arkansas? Yes. That was an 8-point game with 2:15 left. I don't know when that was. Saturday, maybe? The 22nd. Friday or Saturday. But yes, it's the same team that Arkansas ended up beating by 12. It was an 8-point game with 2:14 left, and then
Arkansas tonight beat Eastern Shore 109 to 35.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like,
so
I don't know.
Yeah, and that one was 45-point game at half. So, yeah, there's that. Brandon also made a point. I don't know if you noticed it. He noticed a lot of Boswell as the main guard tonight and KJ off the ball. I think that's probably how I envisioned it in the preseason. Probably.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know that I totally envisioned it. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of it, is what I'll say. I kind of expected, from what I had heard, I kind of expected KJ to be the lead guard. But I'm surprised we haven't seen more of Boswell in that position up to this point. So I'm assuming they're going to start working that in a little bit. I don't think it's that one of them is significantly better than the other, but I do think that there's there's something to changing it up. Letting guys do different things. It keeps defenses on their toes and gives you different opportunities for different sets and stuff. So I'm a little surprised we haven't seen it more to this point. And I think it's something we will see more of moving forward.
Something we have seen the last 2 games is Merez and Tomislav on the court at the same time.
And I think that's going to be a thing because the Big Ten is playing. There's a lot of teams that are playing big lineups, like dual centers, dual posts playing together. I don't know how effective it's going to be long term, and I don't know that you're going to see like a ton of it. I don't know what the minutes was tonight on that duo playing at the same time. Also, Kerry Booth just didn't play for most of this game, so I don't know if that played a factor in there somewhere. But yeah, I think you will see more of that. I think they're going to try it at least, since teams are kind of shifting to that in the Big Ten.
Kerry Booth had 0 minutes in the first half, and he had 6 in the second half. So 6 minutes for Kerry Booth tonight. Speaking of Merez, Kai in here. Nice to see Merez grab an offensive board and just slam it. Been waiting for a big to do that since Kofi. You sound like Kofi was 20 years ago. It was like two years ago was Kofi. I see a lot of Kofi's game in Merez.
Yeah.
And even, he's getting older, so yeah, he's putting on muscle and gaining weight. He has bulked up so much, and I don't know if it's because of Fletch or just him maturing, but he's gotten a lot bigger, obviously, since he committed 2 or 3 years ago. He's a force down there.
Yeah, he's gonna be hard to deal with for some of those smaller post players, because there aren't a lot of guys that are going to be able to push somebody like him around. I mean, we kind of ran into the same thing with Dane last year. Dane was just a little bit undersized when it came to playing the true 5. I think Merez might run into that a little bit too, but I think where Merez is a little different, I think Merez is a little more athletically gifted than what Dane was. I watched Dane play a little bit today in that Memphis game. Oh boy, that was fun.
I was going to touch on that later.
But I think those two are similar players, but I do think Merez has more athletic abilities to him than Dane, where Dane was a little more limited, especially on the defensive end. But you're not going to push him around, and I don't think a lot of teams are going to. Yeah, and I don't think a lot of teams are going to push Tommy around either. Like, he's not quite as mobile defensively, but like he's 7'1" and weighs whatever. Like, a lot of teams are going to struggle to move him around too. So
that's what Brandon's still in here. You can put Merez on the more athletic big and put Big T on the slower big.
Right.
They're very similar players, but I do think they also complement one another in certain aspects.
Yeah,
so,
especially since Big T can shoot. I mean, that gives a whole different
1 of 3 tonight from
layer
3
to it. Yeah.
I mean, he had a double-double tonight. Does he have a double-double in like every game?
Almost, if not all of them. I don't know.
He's scored in double figures every game. So he has 3 double-doubles. Yeah. 2 of the last 3 he has double-double. Scotty, my boy Scotty in here. Illinois has a ton of talent and length. This guy, he's a UNC fan. Got to stop settling for threes. Illinois shot 31 threes tonight, and that's low.
Yeah, I don't think
going to
that's
be
changing.
Nights where they're going to shoot 40 threes, 45 threes.
I'm not watching a lot of NBA basketball right now, and I don't know if you're watching a lot of NBA basketball, but
no,
from
more
what
than
I know, is that they're shooting a lot of threes there too. And I think Brad is fine with it. I think Brad wants this team to shoot.
I mean, he said in a post-game show he wants them to shoot 50.
Like, the thing is, like, this team is full of shooters. Like, there aren't many guys out there now that Ty's redshirting and not everyone on the court, other than Merez. Like, literally everybody out there, I would trust shooting the 3 ball. Like,
let Merez shoot it. I don't care.
Why not? Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to see a lot of it, for better or for worse. I think there are going to be nights where it hurts you, He probably lose because of it, but yeah, Illinois is going to shoot a lot of threes this year.
Would you rather Merez Johnson shoot a 3 or Ty Rogers shoot a 3?
Part of me thinks the Ty thing was just a confidence issue. I really think that I was really hoping at some point you would have seen a Frank Williams, DeMonte Williams style breakout from him. Maybe not to that level, but I thought you could have seen something like that out of him. Now you probably never will here or elsewhere. But to answer your question, I'd still probably, honestly, I might say Merez. That's where we're at.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, is there anything else from the last 2 games, really, realistically?
No, there's not much you can take away from it. I mean, Illinois has a trio of freshmen, but 2 of them are freshmen. One of them is considered a sophomore that's gonna continue to carry your offense all year. This is a really talented team, and
that one international freshman has been playing against 25-year-old men for 2 years as well.
Correct.
So, yeah.
No, I don't got much to add. Tre White gave you a little bit more tonight.
Yeah.
He still frustrates me at times. Kylan had 2 great assists, back-to-back chances that Tre missed both shots on that annoyed me a little bit, but still, he finally got into double digits. So
I don't know if it's because it's lesser competition, but he's looked good the last 2 games.
He's looked better. I think it just takes time, and I know like some of the other people I've heard Werner and Piper talk about it on their show and everything. Like it's taken time for a lot of these transfers to get started into the flow of it, So like, I'm not saying that he's going to have a breakout season like a Marcus Tamask or anything, but like it takes time for guys to adjust. So I think Illinois has more than enough options on this team to win plenty of basketball.
Did you see the shot of Marcus tonight? He was at the game.
I did see that. Yes,
he's doing well for himself.
Yes, I noticed.
Yeah, looks like he's doing okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up is Thanksgiving date. Thanksgiving date with Coach Calipari.
Yeah. How about that, huh?
In Kansas City, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in Kansas City.
You going?
No, one of my buddies is, though. Oh. One of my buddies is going. Him and his family. I'm trying to... Where did the schedule go? Okay. Thursday at 4:00 Eastern. So right
after Bears Lions.
Bears Lions. At the same time as Cowboys Giants, which that one's on Fox. Really? That seems backwards. Yeah. But Thanksgiving date against number 9. They're 19 now. Number 19 Arkansas. We already talked about them. They beat Eastern Shore tonight handily. They struggled with Little Rock, but did beat Little Rock. They beat Pacific by 19. They beat Troy by 16. Beat Lipscomb by 16 and lost to Baylor by 5. So they are also 5-1. Really similar schedule, honestly. 5 kind of lower tier opponents and 1 loss to a top 20 team. So what are your thoughts heading into Thursday? Are you more excited for Illinois, Arkansas, or Bears Lions, or Cowboys Packers?
Cowboys Giants, Dolphins Packers. I am more excited for Illinois, Arkansas. I'm hopeful that I'm actually going to be able to watch it. Do we know who's favored in this game? Have we seen this?
Lines won't come out until 24 hours before.
Okay.
I mean, lines are very close to KenPom. KenPom has Illinois by 2.
Yeah, I think Illinois wins.
Arkansas is 37 in KenPom. Illinois is 21 on KenPom.
Arkansas has a lot of weapons and they can put up a lot of points. And we know Calipari, what he's able to do. But I don't know. I just like the way Illinois is playing. I liked how they played against Alabama. It's hard to say that watched them give up 100 points, but I don't know. I wasn't discouraged by that game. I really wasn't. So I don't know. I think this is a game you can win. You can absolutely win. It's neutral. You're not going into a ruckus.
I was gonna say, how far is Fayetteville from Kansas City?
Not close. Well, close-ish, but it's about split,
3.5
I
hours.
think. And it's
straight up, whatever interstate that is.
Yeah.
Straight up the interstate.
I mean,
So-
I think it'll be a pretty neutral environment.
Much
and
closer than Champaign. Champagne's 6.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty neutral.
Yeah, I do too.
No, I'm excited for it. I think it's a game Illinois can absolutely win. Will they? I don't know.
Sure.
We'll see. But this will be a nice test for this group of freshmen to kind of see if they can bounce back after the Alabama game. Now that they've had a couple other games to kind of get right, I think they're more than capable of putting this together. And I think Arkansas is a good team, but I certainly don't think they're nobody that Illinois can't handle.
Arkansas is led in scoring by Adu Terrio, who spent the last 2 years at Kentucky with Coach Cal. He's averaging 19 points a game, 6 rebounds a game. And then they've also got the freshman Boogie Fland, the guard that some thought Illinois might get in on. They ended up not doing it, but he's averaging 17 and 6. And then Tommy's brother, twin brother. A twin, right?
Yeah.
Twin brother, Zvonimir Ivisic. So guaranteed those two will be guarding each other at some point. And then they've also got DJ Wagner. And then the other name you'll recognize is John L. Davis, the guard that transferred in from FAU, part of their Final Four team. So they definitely have some names, but they are much like Illinois. I think every single player that plays for Arkansas transferred in. I don't think anyone was already there. Maybe Brazil. I think Trayvon Brazil was already there.
Brazil was, yeah.
And then they've also got Billy Richmond, who's a freshman. Yeah, so they have one guy that carried over from the previous coaching staff. So I agree with Logan. It's a game I think Illinois can win. I'm on the other side, though. I have this down as a loss. I don't know why. Maybe it's setting the expectation that way I won't get disappointed. But I wouldn't be shocked if Illinois won, and I won't be shocked by any result, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think Arkansas is obviously a lot of transfers, but a lot of transfers and more experienced guys than what Illinois has. Illinois' offense is a lot of freshmen, which is more typical Calipari. So it's kind of reversed here, what's going on. But I don't know. I have not been discouraged mostly by what I've seen from Illinois so far. So yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, I like the way you're thinking. Let's see. So while we're talking about schedule, after that, Illinois has a couple of Big Ten games.
They have a week off.
They have a
week off, and then they play the 6th against Northwestern.
8 days off. They play a game on the 6th, Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern at Northwestern. You got anything going that night? Are you available?
It might be free. I'll have to see. I'll have to check the calendar.
Have to check with Allison. You better check with Allison about that.
Not free.
Yeah, so the next 2 games, Arkansas, Northwestern, definitely no shows. One's Thanksgiving. The other is a pretty big day in Logan's life. And then are you leaving immediately after that on a trip?
No, we're not going until February.
Okay.
I'm going to miss I'm going to miss the Duke game. So I'll be flying back during the Duke game.
Damn, that's brutal. So the next time you might see us after tonight is probably the following game, Wisconsin. Tuesday, December 10th. The Peacock game. So those are the next 2. We've been going for 26 minutes. Oh, it's almost midnight. Logan's got to go. 2 things, though, real quick. We've touched on Dane Danger. What a win for Memphis. I mean, right? I hate to see it because I don't think Penny's a good guy, but I do love seeing UConn lose.
Yes.
Were you able to watch?
Yeah, I had it.
I had it on
it at work. Yeah. That was a fun basketball game. That was electric. Yeah,
Do
I'm
you
not a huge
think
Penny fan,
Penny? Do you
but
think he learned and will now always foul up 3 with less than 5 seconds left?
probably.
Yeah, that was I can't believe they hung on. If I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, no, it was crazy.
And the other thing I feel like we have to talk about.
What's that?
Does Illinois have a new public enemy number 1 for no apparent reason whatsoever? Like, pardon my French, put the earmuffs on the youngsters. What the fuck, dude?
So I have a take on this. And this is gonna come off as like defending Ed Cooley. But were you in Carbondale when Barry Henson made his Desmar Jackson, whoever,
Oh
or
no,
my
who was it?
players,
Who was it?
or my players? That moment, that Ed Cooley moment, gave off Barry Henson vibes. I'm 100% sure that Cooley was, in a way, defending his guy that was up
Oh,
there,
yeah, sure.
and the
Sure.
verbiage he chose was just dumb to say in a public forum. Like, I don't know why you'd say that, but like that was 100% him, inside joke between him and Jaden and defending his guy. He was basically saying Jaden Epps is my player. Like that's what that was. And it's ridiculous. I don't know why he would actually say that in a public forum. It's just caused all sorts of unnecessary drama. But like that's all it was. Like I tried to look up the clip, the Barry clip, and I couldn't find it. But
I
he was
could.
talking about, I don't remember what players he was talking about, but I remember
I can
being there when
see
he
him,
did
and
it.
I feel like I
It was at
know who it
home. I know
is.
it was at home. It was at,
The name that keeps popping in my head is Marcus Belcher,
could
and
be
no, that's from he was part of the
Jeff
Sweet
Early.
16 teams.
Was it Jeff
No,
Early? He
no.
was talking about somebody or his players, his guys, something. I'd have to look up the roster. Let's see. That would have been what year?
Are we
20.
We might not be talking about the same Barry Henson rant. I'm talking about the Murray State one. Is that not the one you're
That's a
thinking of?
different rant.
Okay.
That's a
Okay. Well,
different
then
rant.
never mind.
No, I
Never
looked up that video. No, that's not. This was a home game. And he was pounding the tape. It was a comment about, the team that he inherited, bunch of guys that, were troublemakers and not going to
Yeah.
class. And his whole thing was, these are my players. Like, he was defending them because, they are his players. And that's what that Cooley thing just felt like to me. It was just like, he is just trying to,
I can't find
whatever.
I can't find the full quote. This is the best I can do, I think. All right, this is the best I got, and it's basically Ed Cooley. Someone asked about how much Jaden Epps' development, I think specifically on the defensive end, and Cooley said something to the effect of, "It's almost like he's a new player. It's something I saw in his freshman year when he played for that other bullshit school." And then he says something like, "I'm pretty sure that'll make the national news, but I never said what school it was." Well, he's only been at one other school, Ed. Like, you said it without saying the word Illinois. So yeah, and then obviously after the game, because that was Saturday, Illinois played that night. So in Brad's post game, someone asked, I think it was Brad Sturdy, asked Brad Underwood about the comment, and Brad basically was like, I don't understand where that came from. I don't have time to spend on that. I've got games to prepare for. And I think it was Doster made a good point. He was just like, Brad mentioned, he's like, I'll let our fan base handle that, and I'm sure they are. Like, he knows how crazy the Illinois fans are, and they already were all over Ed Cooley. What I thought was cool, because I posted the original Ed Cooley clip, and I screen recorded the Underwood response, and it made its rounds. What was I gonna say? I was going to say something about that.
Talking about getting put on Barstool Sports website and getting on Fortnite's
No.
payroll? No.
Oh, so I started getting a bunch of interaction and stuff, and the amount of Providence fans that jumped in on this as well was hilarious because it was all those like the two hands shaking, and it was like Illinois
Yes.
fans, Providence
Yeah.
fans. Yeah, it
Yes.
was funny. I want to see them in the postseason, but they're not going to make the postseason, so it doesn't
It's
matter.
terrible. I mean, he's never had success anywhere, and
Mark, that's the one. Marcus
that's
Filial is who I was thinking of.
yeah.
I don't know if
That
that's who
wasn't
you
the
were
same
thinking
rant
of.
I was talking about.
I was thinking of the Murray State Marcus Filial.
Yeah,
Yes.
no. That is the iconic Barry Hinson rant. This one, the one I'm talking about, wasn't like the iconic rant, but it's something that I just remembered from being there.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, the Ed Cooley thing, like that was just unnecessary. I don't think he really meant for that. I don't know that he meant to say that. It just kind of happened. So
he also
whatever.
like immediately posted a apology on Twitter,
Yes,
saying that it was in jest with one of his players. Poor choice of word, whatever.
yeah.
I just and I didn't see it until now. What are the chances we see an Illinois Georgetown game in the future? Do you think Whitman would schedule that? Do you think Brad would want to schedule that? Do you think the Gavitt games went away, right?
Yeah, it's not. It's no more.
Let me see.
I think it's no
Did
more.
they stop? Did they end that?
I think so.
Yeah, ceased in 2023. Because that's
I don't
the
know.
last time Illinois played Georgetown was in the Gavitt games.
I don't
Georgetown
know that.
came to Champaign and beat Illinois.
I'm not sure how long Cooley will be there. Jaden won't be there for another year or two. So
Yeah.
I don't think it'll amount to anything. I think this will blow over and everybody will forget about it in a couple days.
Yep.
It was just a very electric time on Illinois Twitter.
It was.
Because that was happening right around the same time the football game was ending.
Yeah.
And the basketball game's about ready to start. And it was just a lot was going on. I
guess
like
we could spend a little bit of time on the football. 8-3.
I didn't even watch that. I was watching whatever the big game. Oh, well, Ohio State, Indiana. I was watching that game for the whole first half. And then I eventually turned on the Illinois game and they were trailing. I'm like, okay, well, this is dumb. Yeah, what an ending. What an incredible ending to that game.
I mean, did you see the I think it's like the win probability chart? Did you see that?
Yes.
It's a roller coaster.
Yes. Incredible piece of art. Hanging out in the Louvre.
That and the Purdue game, just this team is consistently inconsistent. I just don't know.
We want Bama, baby.
That is looking very, very, very likely. Very, very, very likely.
It's incredible.
I think even if Northwestern beats Illinois, I think they might be locked in because it would either be
Iowa's in there too with them.
But Iowa played in it last year.
Oh.
Iowa played in the Citrus Bowl last year. So I think Illinois is locked into the Citrus Bowl. Opponent obviously could fluctuate depending on what Alabama does and what happens in the SEC. But I'm pretty sure last year Iowa played in the Citrus Bowl.
Unless they get into that playoff.
Yeah, stop it. Let me check this. Yeah, Iowa got beat by Tennessee 35-0 in the Citrus Bowl last year. So they won't take Iowa again. I don't think they can take Iowa again. So
yeah,
I think it's looking like Illinois is going to head to Orlando for the Citrus Bowl, which is fantastic. I'm going to be in Chicago Saturday. Thought about going to Wrigley.
You should.
The high is 29 degrees.
Yeah.
Confirmed. Not doing it. Not doing it. Okay. We've been on here for 10 minutes longer than we wanted to. Talked about more stuff than just Illinois basketball. So do you have anything else?
No, I appreciate you doing this. It's a good opportunity to talk, even though there wasn't a lot to talk about in that game.
Yeah. Like Logan in the text, Logan's like, we're probably not going to do one for a while. So do you have time? I said yes. And then Sorry I was late, but
It's okay.
we're here.
It's okay. This is as they talked about on the broadcast. This is a very tough stretch of games for Illinois basketball.
Speaking of broadcast, what did you think of Bruce?
I loved just listening to Mike Hall and Bruce Weber tell
Talk
stories.
Illinois basketball
Like
history.
that was incredible. I loved that. I like Bruce. I've always been pro Bruce. I know that he's been controversial in Illinois, the fan base, and I understand it. But I've always been pro Bruce. So yeah, I loved just listening to him tell those stories. Did you? I don't think we've talked about this. Did you?
Okay, go ahead.
Did you happen to listen to the Saluki podcast that Luke did with?
I didn't.
Luke did a podcast with Rodney Watson, Bruce Weber, Chris Lowry, and Matt Painter. It's excellent. It's excellent. Give that a listen. It's on YouTube too. You can watch it. It's great. You of all people need to check that out. You'll really enjoy that. But yeah, I could listen to Bruce tell stories all day.
Chris Lowry on it.
It's fine. He's really speaking as the assistant coach under Painter and Weber.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
More so than it.
I love Rodney Watson too.
So yeah, you should definitely check that out. But yes, I enjoyed the broadcast. I love Bruce. I like Mike Hall, even though he's a Mizzou guy.
Yeah.
Dream job.
I was going to say, didn't he win Dream Job?
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
What a show. What a show. All right. That's going to do it for us. 92-34, Illinois wins, improved to 5-1, and got Arkansas on Thanksgiving.
Woo pig.
You staying in South Bend? You heading to Oakwood?
Staying here. here. Unfortunately, don't have the time off situation like I need it to be. So I'll be. I got to work part of the day on Friday. So plus with everything going on here, we weren't going to go anywhere anyway. So we'll be here this weekend.
All right. So well, have a good holiday, everyone listening. Have a good holiday. Eat some good food. Watch some good sports, football and basketball this year. And let's hope for another Illini win. We will see you in December.